you, Minister. The next topical issue is for Deputy Brian Stanley to the Minister for Finance the need to ensure the correct valuation and receipt in respect of the local property tax. Deputy, 4 minutes. If you could state your time would be helpful. And
Deputy Stanley speaks. Could I ask you, Cahill, is it in order for members of this House, in particular Deputy Stanley, to wear emblems of a type which is now sporting, not only himself but by his colleague? Some members of this House may find the wearing of such emblems offensive.
It's not a matter at this time under topical issues. I'm now taking it away on topical issues.
In that regard, Cahill, could I ask you to seek a report from the Ceann Comhairle, in accordance with standing orders, in accordance with the long-standing practice and procedure of this House, and that that report be laid before the House after the order of business in the morning. I wish to object to the wearing of the emblem by Sinn Féin deputies in the manner which we now see.
Thank you, Deputy. Deputy Stanley. Minister, please. Deputy Stanley.
Could I just say?
Deputy.
He's only carrying out orders.
Deputy Flanagan.
He was only sent in here with
Deputy
the emblem.
Flanagan, I will do what you request to minute topical issues. Deputy Stanley, if you could speak to your topical issue now, would be helpful.
I hope this isn't taking into my 4 minutes, but just to say.
Can you?
But just to say to Deputy Flanagan, because I didn't interrupt him.
Deputy.
Hang on a second, Deputy. He addressed me and he made 2 accusations.
Deputy, I'm in the chair here.
Green, white and gold.
You either want to
I have seen members of his party with emblems there. I didn't object.
Deputy Stanley.
And I don't accept orders off anybody.
Deputy Stanley.
I don't accept orders off anybody.
I'm asking you now to proceed with your topical issue, okay?
So
if you don't mind. Thank you very much.
I don't accept orders off anyone.
Can you take
off Deputy Flanagan or off anyone else?
Can we deal with your topical issue?
No.
Deputy.
If we could just have me 4 minutes without interruption.
Please.
I didn't interrupt. I didn't interrupt.
Deputy Flanagan,
well, if
please.
he finds green, white and gold.
Deputy Stanley, if you could speak to the topical issue.
He can answer that for himself.
Please.
Could I just say...
You're cutting into your own time now.
Can I just say in relation to the topical issue...
Just let you know that, please.
I'm starting with 4 minutes now, which was interrupted by Deputy Flanagan.
I will decide what your time is.
Political time, but can I just say that in relation to the issue, I'm glad that
Deputy, I've already said I will speak to the Ceann Comhairle.
Or any other offensive emblems.
Deputy Flanagan. Thank you. Deputy Stanley, please, if you would like to take your topical issue.
House in order that I can now start my 4 minutes.
Yeah, go
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I have to say that I'm glad to see that the Minister for Finance is here to take this question in relation to the local property tax, which is a very important issue. Local authority houses were supposed to be valued at over 100,000. Now, forget the rights and wrongs of the property tax for a minute. There's people in local authority houses getting they're being valued at €157 for the half year. They're being put into the €215 band, which means that they're being valued at over 115,000, Minister. Right? And they were supposed to be in the lowest band. They were told they wouldn't receive anything because the local authorities deal with it, and it would be added onto the rent. Now, there's a helpline in place, and just want to bring this to the attention of the Minister. The helpline is anything but helpful. It's also very costly because it's at premium rate. It's causing confusion. We had one constituent yesterday, an elderly person, who was going away to borrow the money. Now, if we could just say that the Minister might deal with that. In relation to the private houses and the private valuations, and I want to bring this to your attention. The housing estate I live in, Minister, and this is the best example I got of it so far, is that my neighbours are being billed in the 150 to 200,000 category. Right? Here is the 6 most recent houses sold in the estate: 105,000, 95,000, a 4-bed, which is the largest one's 120, 110, 105, and here's the one here from the auctioneer, the brand new ones with solar panels, the highest spec. They're 110, but they're being valued. The older ones in the estate are being valued at 150 to 200,000. I got the bill yesterday. My neighbours got the bill. And I'll ask you to deal with this in a minute. Now, this is where the question comes in. And then what's really infuriating people is one neighbour gave me a press report, if it's accurate, and I'll ask you to confirm this, that one Michael O'Leary, who lives in a mansion up the country, his bill is lower than ours. His bill, he's been estimated between 100,000 and 150,000, according to this. One Mr. Quinn up in Cavan, who lives in a mansion, he's being billed €112 for this year. less than the houses in the estate where I live. My neighbours are at a loss to explain this, why this is happening. The problem is here, Minister, is that this is a blunt instrument. There's no differentiation being made between houses that have 1 bedrooms or 17 bedrooms, simply the electoral code and the electoral area that they're living in. This is the problem. The legislation was rammed through without this being taken into consideration. Never mind the ability to pay, never mind the fact that there's no exemptions, that there's only deferrals. So what I'm asking here is, I'm asking the Minister to address this. You know, I'm bringing this to your attention, the situation with the local authority tenants being billed, the bill being sent out to them, and the bill being sent out to them for €157 for the half year, which is €315 band for the full year. I'm asking you to address this issue of this issue in relation to houses being overvalued, where we're clearly showing the example.
Thank you.
That's everything that was sold in the last 4 months in the estate. Everything that was sold. You know, and I mean, it's completely wide of the mark.
Yeah.
And to address this situation where mansions belonging to billionaires and millionaires and former billionaires, you know, are only being billed less than ours for €112.
Minister.